How you doing? Here we go. Right, so I've got a great thing for us today to explore from the stark naked brief. There's a thought. I suppose it depends on the brief. Yes, J.J. Starkey writes from his blog about every bit of tyrannical legislation the Labour government has in the works. This is incredible. But before we start, please do subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Buy me a coffee, the usual. Most of all, come and be a warrior teacher. We're starting in October. Oh, it's going to be a good one this time round. Right, okay, so they're all good ones. What do I mean? So come on, let's dig in. Got your coffee? If you're ready, I'll begin. Every bit of tyrannical legislation the Labour government has in the works. Policing, education, infrastructure, they've got their fingers in all of it. Tremendous stuff. And as you can see there, a picture of all these reprobates that were so problematic, starting with Keir Starmer on the left there, and then moving through the entire horror show. Since taking office last July, the Labour government has faced its fair share of crisis and controversy, from nationwide unrest to economic volatility. Much has been self-inflicted, some has arguably not. But while attention is focused on more visible chaos, ministers, alongside a deeply politicised civil service, have been quietly pushing through a raft of new legislation. It cuts across various sectors, including education, infrastructure, and policing. Some provisions are blatantly authoritarian, others buried in vague, bureaucratic language. What follows is a breakdown of the legislation, its aim, the most troubling clauses, and how close they are to becoming active policy. Now, we need to be paying particular attention to this in the GC movement, because imagine if we were not able to discuss the issues that faced us. Imagine if we were not able to bring people to book by ridicule and shame. Imagine if our every message had been monitored to ensure that we weren't speaking wrong speak. That's what this is, right? So we're going to have to get our head around it. It must be hard for some people to do that, I think. But then this will come out more and more as we move forward. So in February, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper tabled the Crime and Policing Bill in the House of Commons with the aim of halving knife crime and violence against women and girls in a decade. To be sure, the bill contains some arguably solid ideas, such as harsher sentences for knife crime, stopping protesters climbing on war memorials, and establishing a new and specific spiking offence. But true to form, ministers, civil servants, and the lawyers, OPC lawyers, have slipped in vague clauses that quietly hand the state sweeping new powers every time. So we're going to do this for women and girls, right? Okay, and here we go. What is it they put in? The very first clause, the Antisocial Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act, is amended as follows. A court may make an order under this section, a respect order, against a person aged 18 or over if. So this introduces something called respect orders, which authorities, including police and potentially other public bodies, would apply for through the courts. The order can essentially force someone to do or stop doing anything described in the order. The threshold, minimal. A judge simply needs to believe on the balance of probabilities that the person has caused or is likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress to any person. There you go. That's it right there. That's the end of the GC movement. Right there. That's game over. This will become law about middle of next year, but that's game over. All they have to do is cry, I'm harassed or I'm distressed by what people are saying, and they'll stick us in jail. Or they'll give us one of these notices. A court can then impose an order without notice, which could be indefinite for all we know, and if breached, the penalty is an unlimited fine or up to 2 years in prison. In theory, police could persuade a judge that an online post caused someone distress. The poster could then be legally compelled to delete it, avoid the topic entirely, stay off social media, or even hand over their device passwords. There you go. Well done again. Well done again to those who voted for Labour. Well done. I'm not saying it would have been better under the bloody Tories. It might not have been, but for God's sake, if we don't have a concentrated pushback against this nonsense, which is really only come to the public eye with the OSA pass and the Online Safety Act, if we do not get our collective bum together, our collaborative bum together, and do an all-out assault on this dreadful imposition of a busybody, tyrannical, nannying nonsense, then we're in real trouble. And that includes you. Those of you that voted Labour, those of you that think the Online Safety Act's a good idea because it's for the good of the children, those of you that want to ban porn, this includes all of you, right? Because you might think that's a good idea, but you try criticising the gusset fumbler in the women's changing rooms and you'll find yourself in trouble. Wake up and smell the damn coffee. In short, the bill hands public authorities the power to preemptively restrict lawful expression without a trial and without a warning. According to Big Brother Watch, Cooper's bill would also impose a huge data grab. What a surprise. Buried in Clause 120, the bill gives police expanded access to data held by the DVLA, covering more than 50 million motorists. This includes names, addresses, dates of birth, photographs, driving endorsements, past convictions, and even medical information deemed relevant to a person's ability to drive. Currently, police can only access DVLA records while investigating road traffic offences, but under the new bill, that access will extend to all criminal investigations, hate crimes possibly included, right? They're going to be all over your life. Do you understand how these people work, right? Once they've got that first in, they go for anything they can find. And in amongst this, they'll seize all your devices. You better hope your teenage daughters and sons are not doing anything that the police would think they shouldn't be doing, from looking at porn right the way through to discussing the fact that the non-binary kid at school is a bloody lunatic. You're in trouble. We're in trouble. And I've yet to see anything from any of the big players recognizing that we are in serious trouble. Somebody explain it to me like I'm a 2-year-old. Combined with the use of live facial recognition software, the availability of official drivers' photographs provides law enforcement with a vast biometric database that could be used for real-time surveillance and targeting. And pretty recently, we heard the technology is far from accurate. In 2019, the Metropolitan Police admitted that the facial recognition system had a false positive rate of 81%, meaning the vast majority of people flagged were misidentified. The process will be the punishment. Doesn't matter. They won't care that you're misidentified. That's not me. No, it's you. Yeah, but the machine says it is you. So therefore, we're going to take you in until we can prove it's not you. This is turning the law on its heads. Turning the law on its heads. And there are people in the GC movement clapping along to this crap. Be careful what you wish for. Right? We either have a concentrated effort to deal with these monstrous creatures that are inhabiting Parliament currently, and to deal with this monstrous legislation that's coming our way. That's just one. Okay? That's just one. Then you've got the Employment's Right Bill. Buried in that is Clause 20. The provision would require employers to take all reasonable steps to protect their staff from harassment by third parties, which includes customers, clients, or even passers-by. They are turning your employer into your mummy and daddy. What's it going to take before we all wake up and go, hang on a minute, we need to do something about this because it's unbelievably dangerous? What will it take? Go and read this brilliant article. There's another one, Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill. Yep. Then you've got it just goes on and on and on. The Planning and Information Infrastructure Bill. All of these bills that are mentioned here by Stark Naked Brief are a danger to you and I, regardless of what side of the fence you are on God knows what. Politics, culture, it doesn't matter. Because if you can't speak, you can't think. And this, combined with the pre-reading of messages before you send them on your phone, means that you will begin to censor your own thoughts and think twice about what you post. And you know what? It's all for the good of the children. Honest to God, wake up and smell the coffee. When are we going to collaboratively get together and go, this is a fat no? Because I'm hearing nothing. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.